Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for All About Android is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com.
This episode of All About Android is brought to you by Gazelle, the fast and simple way to sell your used gadgets. Find out what your used HTC and other Android devices are worth at Gazelle.com. And by Prosper. Prosper is a peer-to-peer lending marketplace which connects people who are looking to borrow money with those who have money to lend. Visit prosper.com/twit and receive a $50 Visa prepaid card when you get a loan. And by SmartThings. SmartThings lets you monitor, control, and automate your home from wherever you are using your smartphone. Right now, SmartThings is offering All About Android listeners 10% off any home security or solution kit and get free shipping in the U.S. when you go to smartthings.com/twit and use the offer code TWIT at checkout. Hello and welcome to another episode of All About Android, episode 200. Wow. Recorded on Tuesday, February 10th, 2015. Still your weekly source for the latest news, hardware, and apps for the Android faithful. I'm Jason Howell.
I'm Ron Richards.
200.
High five, buddy. We did it.
Can you believe it? We did it. We made it. All right, we're done.
Yep, that's it. Last
We
man
just had to get to
standing.
episode 200, and that's it. That's all we ever wanted to do was
all.
200 episodes.
When we started the show, we said we're gonna take this for 200 episodes, and then we're gonna go out on top. So this is also the last of. No, I'm kidding. I'm totally.
Whether we're failing or whether we're winning,
We're going
200's it's done.
Listen, I didn't know anything about Android before we started doing the show. It's just amazing what you've learned in 200 episodes.
We've faked it for a really long time, haven't we?
I use an iPhone. It's amazing.
Let's not get all like rah 200th episode yet, because we've got more reasons throughout the show to go rah 200. You might even get sick of hearing us say rah 200. First of all, want to welcome to the table here Shannon Morse. It's been a while since we've had you on. How you doing, Shannon?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Awesome.
You have to
So
say
good to see you guys.
You have to say rah 200.
Rah, 200.
Okay, that works.
Like that?
That works.
I got it.
Shannon, of course, you have an awesome new show going with Patrick Norton called
do.
Tech Thing.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
tekthing.com. That's where you can find the show. And it is basically Techzilla, but awesomer. Mm-hmm. That's
There
pretty
you go.
much the
It's
answer.
still TEK.
TEK, yes. Just like Hack, HAK, which is my other show. So Tech Thing is basically a consumer-oriented show about technology, gadgets. We do a lot of reviews and interviews on the show, and we also plan on doing some mods and otherwise. So we have a Patreon going at the moment over at patreon.com/techthing, where you can support us directly, and all of our support goes directly back into the production and other things like getting our own RSS feed up, because we're not on a network, so RSS
I know,
feeds
it's amazing.
cost money.
It's amazing how much money it actually costs to do these
seriously.
things, right?
Wow, it's really
Yeah.
expensive and very time consuming. Codecs. Ugh.
Codecs, feeds,
Yep.
all those things.
Formats.
Yes.
Right?
Apple
Mime
breaks
types.
my heart. They make it so hard to make the correct feeds.
Yep.
Well, I think Tech Thing is fantastic.
Thank you.
You guys are
I do
doing a
too.
great job with it, and I love the studio, the spread. You're doing this at the Hack.
Yeah, we're doing it over at the
Hackspace, right?
Hack 5 warehouse. So we're sharing the area with them, and we're kind of borrowing it whenever Hack 5's not using it.
That's awesome.
Which I'm kind of bossy, so I get it whenever I want.
I'm sure. I'm sure you have the in. You've
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of
I
been
have
connected
an
to
in.
Hack 5 for quite a while.
Yeah, 2008. It's been a while.
Wow.
Now that's Patrick's one of the best people in,
Patrick
in, all,
Norton,
in
yeah.
all of what we do. Like
He's a terrible
Patrick,
co-host.
Patrick and Tom Merritt are my two biggest. Like I was huge fans, and that's what inspired me to come out to San Francisco and do all this fun stuff and stuff like that. So Patrick is
awesome.
very important in my in the
Me
world.
too.
I think so. You're lucky.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a good guy. Well, cool. Keep it up with Tech Thing. And, of course, like Shannon said, there's a Patreon that you can go to support it. Looks like you guys are doing awesome already, but you can
Yeah.
always do even better because it opens up more.
Yeah, absolutely. We're hoping
more
to get to
angles.
the point where we don't need to supplement it with ads. So
That's the best.
Yeah, that will be
Right.
awesome. So we're getting there.
Excellent. Techthing.com. Okay, so this is episode 200. We do have news to discuss, of course.
You would think Google knew it was episode 200
yeah?
with the news that we have. To
I
talk
know.
about, right?
They've given us gifts of news. Google I.O. 2015, Android 5.1. You heard me right. The next version of Android. We really know very little about it, but it exists. Samsung Z1, also known as the first Tizen phone. So we'll be talking Tizen earlier.
This is also episode 4 of Talking Tizen. So we got to celebrate both milestones. Really.
Yes, exactly. Apple's app development for Android. Let me say that again. Apple's app development for Android. Something you never thought you'd see.
Look at that cheese.
More.
Wow.
I know.
That was
Got
a good
so
teaser,
much in
right.
store. But I think one of the things I'm most excited about for this episode is that we get to welcome back a friend, not too distant friend, but distant enough for me to realize, Gina, we miss you on this show. Thank you for coming back for episode 200.
Hey, you guys. It's so good to be back.
Yay.
It's only been a couple of weeks, but man, I've really missed the show. It's awesome to be here on episode 200. Congratulations.
Well, congratulations to you, too, because you made up more than half of that number. You came on, I want to say, just off the top of my memory, I think it was episode 97, but it was somewhere around there. Episode 100 happened, and you were on that episode, of course. So you've been on pretty much for half of the run of the show. So you have as much reason to celebrate as anyone. So.
I had the honor and the privilege. I remember episode 100. And I remember thinking at the time that I felt kind of like, I was like, oh, I just got here. So, I really didn't have much to do with this. And now here it is, episode 200. It's been a couple of weeks that I haven't been on the show. And it's really given me time to think about and appreciate the show and how great it is and how much I missed you guys. And I think 200 episodes is amazing. I mean, longevity like that, especially on the web. I know this maybe isn't such a big deal around the Brick House because you've got so many shows and that go for a long time, but it really is. It's a huge deal. I was looking up episode 1. This show started during Honeycomb. I think Honeycomb was the current release of Android. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I think on episode 1, I still had the Motorola Droid.
I was on the G1. Was I still in the G1? Or
I'm not sure if you were still on the G1.
Was on the Nexus 1.
I think maybe by that point you were on the Nexus 1.
I love that phone. I miss that phone.
Yeah.
I was still on
That
an
was a great
iPhone
phone.
back then.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Don't hurt me.
I'm proud.
It's okay.
I'm proud to say I've never partaken with the iOS.
See,
I'm still pure.
But iPad? No, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I need an iPad for work, but not phone-wise. I mean,
partaking in iOS.
I dipped my toes a little. It was like
you want to know the extent of my iOS experience is the iPad that we use at the technical direction desk to route video for our TriCaster.
Oh, all right.
So I really,
Well,
and
both have
honestly, at
work
this point, I kind of think it's a deficiency. Like I need to actually get an iOS device and spend a month with it so I know what the other option is. So that I know. Research, right? You got to know.
It's nice knowing both sides.
Yeah.
Both sides of the argument.
In fact, Gina, you're the prime person. You did this. You were on Android, then you switched back to iOS, and you used that for quite some time, right?
I did a year on iOS when I ported my app over to iOS, and I liked being conversant on the other side, but I was really happy to go back to Android, and I stayed on Android because I was doing the show, and
because you didn't want us to guilt you out of it.
I couldn't show my face up at all about Android with an iPhone, although I have an iPad, that I use kind of on the side or whatever. But I'm still even though I don't have Lollipop, still don't have Lollipop yet. I'm still digging OnePlus One, but I got Lollipop on my Nexus 7, so that was exciting. Even the old one, but yeah, it's been a long time. It's weird though. I went shopping for a laptop for one of my in-laws, and we were looking at Windows laptops, and I haven't used Windows in forever, and it's such a weird feeling to just be in an operating system that you haven't. That you're just not used to.
I tweeted and posted on Google Plus about this earlier today because for work I needed to get a Windows laptop to do a very specific function with an outside of my company. Anyway, long story short, so I got a little Asus and it's got Windows 8.1 on it. And trying to get this thing to work, and the guy I was working with was like, "Well, can you send me a screenshot of what you're seeing?" I was like, "Oh, I don't even know how to do that." I was like, I had to look up how to do it. It was so foreign to me after 7 years of being on OS X and not even touching Windows. So if you handed me an iPhone and said use this as your regular phone, I'm sure I would get it because iOS is so
right.
But still, it's weird. It's
because a lot of people get it. So I'm sure it would be easy. My mom gets it. And she hasn't had a whole lot of experience with smartphones, and she has an iPhone and she loves it. Because iOS is good. It's not a bad
so lucky.
bad OS.
My mom doesn't even know how to text.
Unfortunately,
Believe me,
my mom does, and she doesn't know that she doesn't know that
doesn't know
texting
how
is
not
not.
to text.
No, she doesn't know that texting is not email. No joke. Here, I'll show you this. This is ridiculous. But Bryan here found out that Gina's first show was all about Android 91.
No, actually, that's Arjav in chat.
Yeah.
Found 91 is the earliest episode.
Wow.
Okay.
And so.
Yeah. Wow, yeah. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, this is all to say, Android really felt like home to me. I mean, these devices that we carry in our pockets are so personal and they're so close to us, and you're literally touching them all day long. And I love Android, and partially that's because I've done the show with you guys, and I think the thing that's made AA so great is the chemistry between the hosts and the guests and the back and forth with the audience. It's something I miss so much. And oh wow, look at how young and fresh faced you all
Look at my
are.
Nexus 7.
Oh my
Look at Ron.
Enough of me. Go back to Jason's hair. Wow.
Look at my hair.
Your internet connection was those were. Oh man,
Wow.
I can't look at that hair anymore.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I thought it was a good idea, but I did. I had
also
to try.
like that I look completely the same. Like it's just like
It's kind of true. Yeah.
I really never changed the way I look.
Old, new. I don't even know who I'm looking at right now. It's
It's very strange.
all right. Well, it was only 2 years
timeless.
ago.
I'm timeless.
You are.
That's what it is. Yeah. But your hair, you should grow it out again, man. That was a good look.
No, it's okay.
It was very
It's
hippie-ish. I liked it.
What I liked was it was almost as if that video was from like 15 years ago, but no, that was like a year and a half ago.
2 years. It was 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago. Yeah.
I don't know. When I was a kid, I had longer hair.
That's
And I was
right,
like,
man.
I'm going to do it again and see how
It's
it works.
okay.
And
I did too.
Yeah.
grown up long hair isn't the same as, teens long hair.
You'll show that principle. You're not going to conform. You're your own person.
I knew it was a bad idea when I went in to get my hair cut one day, and my hairdresser actually sat me down and had a serious conversation. She was like, this isn't working for you, and if you're going to continue doing it, we're done.
Really? Really?
And I was like, all right, you kind of confirmed what I was thinking because I trusted her. So
Wow, I've never heard that happen before.
it was a joke, but it was a friendly
There's
nudge.
a little truth and humor there.
Of course there
truth and
was
vino,
truth to
right?
But I trusted her. So, anyways, now I have that documented forever and ever on this show. But Gina, I will say your connection quality has improved immensely since then.
Yes, indeed. I apologize for all the pixelization, all of the 100 episodes of pixelization.
There was a little bit of a pixelization back
During
in
the
day.
life of All About Android, you moved. You did a cross country. You went from California to New York, and you started a company, and and launched this great product. That think about what's happened over this time.
A lot of things. Jason, you had so
Children.
my child existed. You may have had a new child. One of us had a new child.
Yes. So
But yes, there were children born, companies founded, haircuts had. I mean, a lot has happened in 2 years.
Yes, you both have
It's as
raised. You've both raised your children, and I still act like a child. So
It's as if outside of the show we've been living our lives.
I know, it's
So weird.
so
never
weird.
happened.
No, I know. We have proof that it happens. It's the show. So tell us kind of about what you're doing right now, Gina. While we have you on, how's ThinkUp going? You basically stepped away from All About Android, at least for one big reason, to focus a little bit more on your ThinkUp project. Somebody posted in the chat room that Fast Company had you on their top 10 most innovative companies of 2015 in social media. ThinkUp's in there, so that's awesome. I mean, how's it going?
Thanks. Things are good. Well, I mean, listeners and viewers of the show might be surprised to know that I'm a bit of an introvert. So now that I stepped away from doing the shows from All About Android and This Week in Google, I talk about 50% less on a weekly basis than I did before. But yeah, I've been really just heads down writing code, shipping a lot of code at ThinkUp. We had the Fast Company story, which was great. Just to be clear, we were one of the top 50 most innovative companies.
Oh, okay, okay.
That top 10 list is like Apple, Google, Facebook, Slack, the big ones. But yeah, no, that was great press. We got a great review in the New York Times, which I was really happy about. And we've been shipping actually a lot of developer tools. Just today, we released a tool that helps anybody, really. You don't have to write any code. Go to a webpage, you could design an insight that'll show up in ThinkUp. You can see that at blog.thinkup.com. We just posted on our blog. It's kind of just like a WYSIWYG quick mock-up, a way to propose a new insight idea. So I'm pretty excited about that. And we did basically the equivalent of what Google does when they kind of release the Android source code, for release. At ThinkUp, we took the branch that we were shipping on our production servers and dropped it into merged it into the master branch of the open source project. So all the code is totally out there in public, and the open source community is hacking on it. So I'm really excited about that. So
Awesome.
So yeah, it's just been a lot of fun, and it's been a lot of coding and a lot of typing and running tests. And now that I don't actually have shows like in my schedule, I spend a lot of time hacking till really late in the night. And then sleeping late, which is probably the worst kind of schedule ever, but I've been enjoying it.
But whatever is most productive, for you, whatever works for being most productive. You don't have the distraction of having to do the shows and research and all that kind of stuff. I can completely understand that. And working on your own schedule, it's a little bit easier, it sounds like, to do that.
Yeah, it's fun. I'm totally your typical sort of night owl coder type.
Yeah.
I'll just get started around 11 p.m. But it's been a lot of fun. I've really missed you guys though, and I am going to be on This Week in Google tomorrow, and I just kind of stopped in to congratulate you all tonight on episode 200, but I'll be back in a couple of weeks. I think we talked about a date in March. I'll be on for the full show and a guest here.
Yeah, we have you on March 10th right now. It's the episode after Mobile World Congress, not during, but after. So we'll probably have some Mobile World stuff to talk about. Aaron Newcomb's also going to be on, and Ron, you may or may not be on.
I'm pending my day job schedule. I'm going to do my best though. Now that I know that Gina's going to be on, and I love Aaron, so that's
Go
great.
ahead and change you to maybe.
Maybe. But hopefully, Gina, by March 10th, the ThinkUp homepage will have been refreshed, and I'll be added, like we talked about before you left the show. Because I'm looking now, and I see Ev, I see Veronica, but I don't see Ronixo, so I'm just waiting. So
I'm filing a ticket right now. That will definitely happen.
I'm pretty sure Ron has a standing notification that appears every day for him to remind himself
to check ThinkUp
and see if he's on it.
I make the homepage. I was just that would just make me happy. It's a goal in life. So.
Oh, Gina, so awesome having you on. Thank you so much for joining.
Yes.
On especially this episode, but anytime we can get you on the show, we're super happy.
Awesome. Thanks again, and congratulations on episode 200. That's amazing. I know you have a show to do, and I don't want to stand in the way of the news. Thanks for having me on, and I'll see you guys in a few weeks.
All right. Sounds good, Gina.
Bye.
Take care. All the best.
Guys.
I'll see you tomorrow because I produced This Week in Google, so there we go.
Awesome.
Stay warm.
All right.
Stay warm. Don't slip on ice.
Thanks, Ron. I'll do that.
Miss you.
Okay, bye. Love you. Bye.
Bye. Talk to you later. TTYL.
See you guys. Have a good show.
See ya.
No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first.
So
you
hard.
hang up first.
I just can't do it anymore. All right. Awesome. Love that we got Gina on today. But you know what? We have some stuff to talk about.
News.
Warm up those vocal cords, Brian. It's time to check out some news.
You'd think after 200 episodes we'd have nothing to talk about. Get ready for Android news.
You were right.
Well, I mean, but this could be practically breaking news, I think. It happened today.
Wait. It did. It really just happened
really
right
just
before the
happened
show,
right
even
before
though
the show
I
started.
had time to put it in the
Breaking
doc,
news?
but it could be. Excellent. I think that was a good call.
Yeah. Well, it's episode 200. We need some breaking news.
Yeah, we need some breaking news in there.
So there we go. What do we got?
Google I/O 2015. I kind of can't believe we're already at that point of the year yet again where we beg and plead on the show every single week until somebody takes pity on us and lets us into the show. Google I/O. So this is May 28th to 29th. Registration begins March 17th, 9 a.m. Pacific. The site for this was created entirely in Polymer. So you see a lot of kind of, Google's vision around, bringing material design, a lot of the things you see in material design on Lollipop and stuff, bringing that to the web. It's a really interesting.
Well, that is a very stressful countdown. Did you see that?
I had a hard time figuring out what the heck that said.
Can you reload that?
I was like, what in the world?
The number countdown?
Yeah.
Let's see. Look
Look
at all
at this.
these.
It's all
these
material now.
bouncing.
It scrolls down and up there. What's going to happen?
It's like a bomb's going to go off.
Yeah, I know.
Beep 24. Actually 34.
Material countdown. Wade County said in the chat room. Good one.
It's material countdown.
34 days until registration. So the big question is, am I going to get in?
Well, that is the big question. What do you think?
No, probably not.
You made it once.
I made it once. My glorious
much is
once
it?
time. What?
How much does it cost?
I don't even know. It's like 1,500,
Yeah,
maybe
it's a lot of money.
800, 600. I don't even know.
So I
wanna
have
say it's,
34 days
ish.
to save up.
It's like 900-ish, I think it's been in the
Yeah.
past, but obviously we've never paid to go to Google I.O. because we don't know the answer to this. But, you know, we usually get in with press.
It's like when somebody asks me how much is a ticket to Comic-Con. I'm like, I don't know. I haven't paid for that in like 15 years.
But needless to say, I think everybody is excited because now we have a date, and I've already marked it off on my personal calendar as if I expected that I'm going, which it's very possible I'm not, because every year it comes down to the wire. But
It's so sad.
yeah, I know. Well, hey, I don't know. I mean,
will try
I'm
my
sure there are
hardest
worse
to
things
get
that
you
can
in.
happen. Thank you.
No problem.
I mean, it could be worse. I
Happy to
could
help.
drop my Nexus 6 and crack the screen beyond use. So, you know,
All right, there is a form for press, Jason. We got to get on this.
that never does anything.
No, that's how they told me no.
Yeah, I know. That's how I found out no, like, really quickly. And then I spent even more time stressing about it. And Android Police posted a little bonus because Google likes to put their little, extras into these things. The Google I/O Chrome experiment shows, I believe it's Left Shark.
It is Left
if you
Shark.
do.
I just found out about this last night.
Yeah, so
This is awesome. I haven't figured out how to get it to work in my own browser. I was able to figure out how to get to the correct place and put in the experiment console dance, but it doesn't work on my machine. So
you
I
don't
think
need to.
I might
It's
have
there.
the wrong
We got it.
version.
We got it.
Yeah.
Bryan just did that. He just typed
Thanks,
it in and
thanks,
stuff.
guys.
He's
I want a dancing shark on my computer.
who doesn't?
That's pretty
Apparently,
cool.
it's all the rage. Do you think Left Shark will still be a big deal next Halloween? Like, are we going to see a lot of Left Sharks running around, or is it just going to be like, oh, that's so January?
I think
or
we're going to
February?
see Katy Perry's dressed up on lions. That's what I think.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Maybe Left Shark's dancing along with her down the street.
There we go.
You could put a lot of candy in that shark.
Did you see the? Did you see
and it
the?
just melt the entire time.
Did you see the lawyer response? Did you see that there's a guy who's making like 3D printable version of Left Shark?
Oh, no.
And Katy Perry's people sent a cease and desist, and that guy's lawyer sent a thing back that was like genius. Was like, last I checked, it's a costume, and you can't copyright costumes. And furthermore, isn't this an NFL production? Like, and finally, just back off. Like, let's all get on with our life. It was like the greatest like lawyery
awesome.
this is how we're gonna fight a copyright dispute. It was good. Yeah. It's on the web somewhere. You can find it.
Embrace the craziness, Katie.
Yes. So, speaking of craziness, even more breaking news.
What? Is it?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
It's related to Lollipop. So,
If it was news that broke today, even though this didn't break today.
it didn't, but whatever. It's Lollipop related. So, Android 5.1. It's real. It exists. How do we know? Because Google's Indonesian Android 1 page mentioned 5.1 5 times. And it's the first time we've seen the numbers 5.1.
Wait a minute. 5 followed by a period followed by a 1.
to indicate 5.1. This is the first official mention of Android 5.1 by Google. Android Police has pictures of it on the phone of question. You saw that. But then later on, not only did we find out that 5.1 exists, but we find out that things will change in 5.1.
Oh, so it's going to be different.
Yes.
So it's going to be a full point difference, and there will be actual changes to the underlying
what we're
system.
aware of is that there's a tipster who let it leak that one of the new features will be allowing users to select a Wi-Fi or Bluetooth network directly from within the quick settings menu, as opposed to jumping to the full screen settings page to manage it.
Right. So the
Mind
fourth,
So
fifth, and
excited
sixth
about
picture,
this.
actually, Bryan, those were before. So that's before.
So
is
before
basically
you've got to go
you
into full settings,
click in it and it takes you through to settings. Now you get the little down arrow.
Yep.
That go to the fourth picture, the bottom left corner. That one, yeah. So next to Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, see that downward triangle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's new.
Wow.
That is new.
Isn't that a yoga pose?
Am I a
Downward
nerd for being
triangle?
crazy excited about this?
Yeah, no, you should. Yeah, no,
I'm
actually, that's a
super
game
excited.
changer. That is a game. That's
Being like reviewing all these different like Bluetooth speakers and having to switch between all the different Bluetooth devices is really irritating to go into the big old menu. That and going into Target and having to get on their Wi-Fi so I can price check stuff on Amazon drives me nuts because I have to go into my big menu. I'm so excited.
Minimizing
I don't
tabs.
even have Lollipop yet on my stupid Samsung phone. But I'm excited for that Wi-Fi drop-down menu more than I am for
So that's
It's
a good
amazing
nugget.
what's
That's a good nugget of
the
information.
little things that can make the difference. You know,
Yes.
because when you're out and about and you're looking for a friendly Wi-Fi hotspot, to have to hit connect, go back, go to the browser, see if it works, and then go back to settings. Like so being able to get it from the quick, I mean, that's nice. It's good.
It's going to save me milliseconds in my lifetime.
Yeah, I'm just surprised it's not a 6.0 here. I'm surprised that this isn't a change.
Or
to
5.5.
Yeah. What is the next? What is the next candy here that we're going to be going?
I don't know.
to?
Do you think that's enough to warrant that one feature? No. Is this it? Is this the only new feature at 5.1? So anyways, we'll probably find out more, I'm sure.
That's
There's
going to be
probably
exciting.
not a whole lot of difference.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's 5.1. It's a whole new world. I want a T-shirt that's in that like material design.
Well, now you need that animated
Sorry.
GIF. It's happening, even though it's not quite happening, but the fact that it exists is happening. And then Google is actually developing and testing a new service that utilizes its Helpouts service. So Helpouts is kind of taps into Hangouts and allows you to kind of connect with people who can provide a service over video. So like, a doctor, you can connect with a doctor that could kind of give you medical advice, whatever. Google's going to use that to sell Google hardware and provide support. Google spokesperson actually said, we're in a limited trial of an experimental support feature and gathering feedback, so we aren't ready to share full plans yet, but you can actually get to it right now if you go through a few steps. We have an article from TechCrunch that details those steps. It went live quietly in November. Google also has plans to put virtual help desks in stores. So you're in Best Buy or something and you want to talk to Google about instead of talking to a Best Buy guy or girl, you go to the kiosk and connect with Google. That's so Google.
I kind of wish that it would be it's a Best Buy employee in another room. Like they said the kiosk.
Hello. Yes, can I help you?
But
sure, I'll be right over.
It's interesting. I mean, we talked about a couple weeks ago where we were talking about Google's entry into more deeper customer service, and if they become a mobile operator and all that sort of stuff, then this is interesting. A way to differentiate the customer service side of things.
Handy.
I thought customer service, yes, awesome, because it'll make it crazy easy for me to call them if I have a question about my, my Note 4 or whatever the heck I have at that time.
If you had a Nexus, you could call them already. With what was that app?
But the thing about this, though, is the fact that it's just for selling devices. It's not for actual technical support, which I was so angry about that because that's the reason why I would want to use it is for
it's
like
but
it's
I thought that I read in there
support.
that they're also providing support with it.
like halfway down it says that they will
Support
experimental
feature.
support feature and gathering feedback.
It does
Yeah,
not
that's how I read
currently
that,
cover
but-
street tech support.
Well,
that's a different thing. Sales support is different. That's going to be like,
sales
hey,
support.
can I use this phone in another country? And they're
Yeah.
like, sure you can. And that's not like.
Right.
But I want to call them and be like, how can I turn off the stupid audio on my calculator because that thing
You
drives me
want
nuts.
Amazon's Mayday
Yeah.
for Android, which actually
Mayday
makes perfect
is
sense.
Great.
Yeah.
Mayday works really well on Kindle Fire tablets and their phones.
Yeah, it's
I've
really
tried it
cool.
and tested it, and it works awesome. So
I'd be
I would like for
really
Google to do
surprised
something
if
like that
Google
for technical
didn't
support.
do something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It would be
Eventually.
great for the consumer audience. They would
Yeah.
love it.
I think well they're laying groundwork. I
Yeah,
mean that's clear.
that's
They
what
said
it
this
is.
is a test. They're gathering information. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens down the road. So
Yeah.
And I guess it's easier to do sales support because it's not actually like, can I get this to get
Yeah.
my work email? Yes, you can. Just use the Gmail app. It's like, oh great, and they buy it, and then there's
Does this have an SD card slot?
no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Because
You
we're
don't-
Google. We don't do
you
that.
don't need an SD card slot. Who told you need an SD card slot? We work at Google.
You were misinformed. All right. Let's thank our first sponsor, Ron.
Yes, we want to thank Gazelle for sponsoring this episode of All About Android. And Google's not the only one with news. New from Gazelle, now you can buy certified pre-owned iPhones, Samsung Galaxy phones, and iPads direct from Gazelle. It's pretty cool. You can finally buy hardware from Gazelle, not just sell to it.
Right.
If you've lost or broken your phone, a certified pre-owned device is a great way to buy a low-cost replacement device. Gazelle still offers great deals on your trade-ins for your old device, but now you can visit Gazelle.com to see what devices are available from Gazelle in certified pre-owned condition. Benefits of buying a certified pre-owned device from Gazelle are limitless. Devices are available in two conditions, certified like new and certified good. Certified Good devices show some gentle signs of wear. You know, they've been around the block a couple times, but they offer consumers who want to save a little extra money on a great device at a great price. All devices have been put through a rigorous 30-point inspection to ensure they're fully functional, and certified pre-owned devices are backed by a 30-day risk-free return policy. But you can still trade in your existing devices to Gazelle and get paid in cash. The benefits of doing that, you can get fast payment within a few days of your item being received. It's risk-free. Gazelle will wipe your data for free, so it's completely trustworthy. Gazelle has paid nearly $175 million to over 1 million customers. It's easy. They offer free shipping. Most items that you're returning qualify for a free box. Fast processing, no listing hassles. It just makes it simple. To whether you want to sell your device to Gazelle or buy a certified pre-owned, Gazelle is where it's at. So find out what your Android device is worth or what a new device is going to cost you. Take a minute, go to Gazelle.com to find out. We thank them for supporting All About Android.
It's a perfect fit.
Yeah.
Gazelle. I love Gazelle.
I like that certified pre-owned, the 30-point inspection. It's like buying a car. It's like, it's very
right.
Clever,
And if you're willing, if you want to pay less, you can. You might get a few dings in the car, but you know what? It's going to work.
But hey, if you want, if you're looking for a new tablet or you're looking, and they're not cheap. So this is a good option. So thank you, Gazelle.
Absolutely. Cool. All right. Speaking of hardware.
So I gotta admit, this one's pretty cool. I'm kind of excited about this. A couple weeks ago, you saw I was playing with the Samsung VR. A couple weeks ago, we were playing with Gear VR, right? Years ago. Now we were talking before the show started. I'm kind of old. I've got some years on the
old.
Yeah, some mileage on this car. But when I was growing up, one of my favorite toys was actually a virtual reality toy. Way back in the early 80s. It was called the Viewmaster.
Oh, I had one of those.
It was that awesome Viewmaster. And now, ahead of Toy Fair in New York City coming up in this Friday, Google and Mattel will come together to announce something new. The invite shows a Viewmaster film hinting at some type of 3D viewing collaboration, maybe something cardboard related. Hey, Viewmaster is a brand that I can get behind.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'm very curious. I'm very intrigued. I loved my Viewmaster.
Viewmaster was great, and for those of you who were born in the '90s, I'm sure there are you out there. Viewmaster, it's like you start with a picture, you put your eyes into it, and there's a round little thing, and it's had two images, and it looked like you were there. It was kind of 3D,
stereoscopic image.
Pictures.
Yeah,
and then when you click the switch, it flips to the next picture, and it does look kind of 3D.
I had a tour. Cool. I had a tour of Disneyland. I think it was.
Yes, so did I.
Yeah, do you remember that?
So did I.
Yeah, see, there's Viewmaster.
Man.
Yeah.
Wow,
memories.
So given what Google's been doing with cardboard and the low-cost VR kind of thing, it could be pretty cool. So that's kind of neat. But it just doesn't stop there. Everyone is going VR crazy. LG is bringing its own version of cardboard, but this time made out of plastic, to purchasers of the LG G3 for free. So they're making a little step up in terms of it's a little below the Gear VR, but above cardboard, in that it's actually made of plastic. But but it's running the cardboard software, right? I mean, like it's a cardboard.
Yeah, it's meant to. It has the magnetic style slider on the side, and it's meant to be a cardboard reader, even though it's made of plastic. So I don't know how you get around that part.
I'm excited about the one for kids. Like, if that is actually what they are creating with Mattel, that could be amazing. We're seeing so much virtual reality, technical hardware, but it's geared towards a gamer audience. We haven't seen much of anything for kids. Yeah. So this would be so fun and so new, and it would be great for little kids coming into this world of, all sorts of weird new touchscreen and devices.
Yeah. At least it'll prep them for the future when they put on their helmet at the beginning of the day and go to virtual college.
Yeah, exactly.
Go to virtual work.
Yay,
and
Matrix.
Then, exactly.
and then for those of us that grew up with Viewmaster, just the retro. The retro crowd. Yeah. I wonder if it's possible to transfer your favorite Viewmasters into a cardboard compatible 3D image. Probably is. I'm sure someone's done this.
I wonder if
but it'd be great to go through your archives if you still have your Viewmaster stuff. Because I
wonder
love
if I could 3D print that LG one. I bet I could.
If you have a 3D
Probably.
printer, sure. Can't you print anything?
Stick a little magnet on it, whatever. It's good.
Yeah, just throw a magnet on the side, whatever. Yeah, cool stuff. Looking forward to that. That is, I believe, this Friday.
That's this Friday, yeah, before Toy Fair.
We'll find out soon. We'll probably talk about it next week if it's interesting. I'm sure it'll be at least a little interesting. Speaking of interesting, Project Ara is the modular, component phone that we talked about plenty of times on the show. Very cool stuff happening. Yes is a company that's expected to show off a number of ARA-compatible modules at Mobile World Congress in a few weeks. Yes has already manufactured, it says, around 100 modules for Project Ara. Luis Sosa, CEO of Yes, told CNET, Yes is a product for the masses, and that is what Google is aiming at with Ara. Again, kind of reiterating that even though we look at this and we see this as kind of like an edge case oddity, Google continually says they see this for the masses. It's just an interesting stance, I think, to take on something that's so different from the norm.
Yep.
Anyways, so there's that. There's Yes. And then late last month, we didn't talk about this on the show, but still was very interesting. German audio company Sennheiser showed off some modules it's working on for Ara, including Amphion, which is a premium sound card with 150 milliwatt Class G headphone amp, low latency digital signal processing with like a big headphone plug, a 1/4-inch headphone plug.
Cool.
Another module called the Proteus has 2 audio jacks for splitting headphones to 2 people or for recording with a stereo microphone. So
How is this not going to be the coolest thing we've ever had?
That's what I mean. The more we start to see the kind of the support around the modules and kind of the creativity that is enabled through creating modules for a portable device, it becomes less that you're creating these things for a smartphone and more that you're just creating a modular techno gadget for whatever.
Well,
it just happens to be used primarily as a smartphone, let's say, but really you can turn it into anything.
I would like to go back to the episode where we talked about this, where we said, and I'm not even saying it was just me. I think it was all of us collectively.
No.
Like, what's going to make Ara interesting is not going to be the software. It's going to be the things you can snap onto it and do it. It's going to become those peripherals, those accessories. And like already, like seeing Sennheiser, which is a brand that I have a pair of Sennheiser cans at home, headphones, and seeing them creating high-end audio stuff that can allow like a splitter, so you can, if you're traveling with somebody, you can both listen to the same thing, or it allows stereo mic recordings for field things,
taking it to a concert. Yeah, totally.
Or doing podcast stuff to do it. Yeah. I mean, like that's so cool. I love the idea of being able to like, oh, I need my good audio thing, snap, and it just works.
100 components. Yes has 100 has developed 100 components for Ara, and that's just one company. So
I just feel like I'm going to spend a ton of money. Like I'm going to spend a ton of money on this.
I know. How much do these modules cost?
This is going to be like a gotta catch them all type.
Right. It's going to be Pokemon.
Keep on collecting every little component.
They're going to be cereal, prizes inside a Cracker Jack box.
Gotta get the Mewtwo one. Woo!
So, any of us want to go to where is it, Puerto Rico, to get one of these when it releases later this year? Yeah, should we do that?
Twist my arm.
Sure,
Okay,
if
all right.
your company will pay for it.
I'll talk to them. Sure, it's probably not going to happen. All right. Well, there you go.
But in terms of things that you might want to chase after, hardware you might want to pick up. It's an important moment in Tizen. As we've got the Samsung Z1 has been brought to the world, and our buddy Ron Amadeo over at Ars Technica took a look at the Samsung Z1, and this is the first smartphone running Tizen. And the question is this going to be Samsung's Android killer? And Ron kind of explains and points out that it's really more of a bad Android clone than an Android killer. Right. So that really puts a dour note on this edition of Talkin' Tizen. Yeah. Or This Week in Tizen.
I like Talkin' Tizen.
Talkin' Tizen?
Talkin'
Tizen?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Talkin' Tizen works.
So Samsung Z1 not impressing Mr. Amadeo, who I trust immensely.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is not meant to be a higher end device, so it's not going to wow from that perspective. Software wise, I mean, that's, I think, the direct comparison that is even worth kind of taking a look at between Android and Tizen. Yeah, just kind of, it has that budget feel to it. It's also the first smartphone to actually have Tizen, so it's hard to give them too much, flack for that, because
I mean, yeah, because you got to think about it.
You have to imagine it all starts somewhere and then it evolves to something else. Right, so it could become a lot bigger.
They're not going to do like a brand new piece of hardware that's going to blow everyone away or whatever, because it's a risk. I mean, ultimately, this is a risk. Are people going to buy
It's a hedge bet.
Yeah.
It's definitely a budget hardware device that they're messing with here. But to me, it feels like Samsung just can't pull away from the whole Android field.
Like
for all of
entirely,
their
completely.
software. Yeah, entirely. They keep on looking at Android and they're not thinking outside of the box.
Yeah.
Every time they look at Android, they think, oh, well, we can do TouchWiz. Oh, we can do Tizen. They need to completely look outside the box and create their own atmosphere in their own environment. And this isn't it.
But I don't feel like Samsung's ever been that company, though.
They haven't.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't know if they're capable
And
of
if
it.
they want to build their own operating system, they need to.
Yeah.
Just hire new people.
I mean, it's risky because you have an environment and an OS and a ecosystem that people are used to now for 200 episodes for however many years, and so you've got two options there when you've got this roadmap in front of you. You can either peel the Band-Aid off quickly and go in a completely different direction, which runs the risk of alienating and scaring people, because what do people fear? Change. Exactly. Or you go with you fool them into, oh, this is just like your other Samsung phone. Look, it's just like this. And you ease them into something new. So I could see that being the choice, but I like bold moves a little bit.
I do too.
Yeah,
so. I'm a bold move type of guy.
Yeah.
Yes. Not gonna go there. I think it's an interesting first step. I'm not sure that Samsung's ambition right now, at least not in the next couple of years, is break away from Android entirely and Tizen's the replacement. I think like we were talking about, it's the hedge bet. It's wouldn't it be great if this takes off, then excellent, we're in a better position.
Right.
But at this point, maybe they don't want their Tizen devices to outshine their Android devices because they're making a lot of money on their Android devices right now.
Well, but they're making less money than they were last year on it.
Yeah, but they're still making lots of
money. Sure, yes, I know.
It's still a lot.
Yeah.
But you're right.
I think you're right. This is a long-term thing.
Yeah.
But you get a lot more people looking at it if it was crazy wacky and did something different and had a circular display and had a 3D thing or something.
Viewmaster
They
mode.
just throw a bunch of gimmicks at it just
Exactly.
to get
That's
the
what
press
Samsung
to
needs
talk
to
about
do.
it.
Yeah, man.
And then they pull back for the second generation.
Yep.
At least the press and everybody in the consumer audience would know what this was, as opposed to right now when people are just looking at it and going, oh, it looks like another version of Android.
Right. How excited were we when the Asus Transformers came out and when it's a tablet that connects to a keyboard and you put your phone
super
in, and it was
excited.
and it never came out, but we talked
You
about it.
remember what it is
Exactly.
because it's so different.
Yeah.
No, we're very excited about that. It eventually came out.
Right, yeah. But didn't they kill it? Oh no, that was the one that had the OS swapping. Or had the button that would let you swap between Windows and Android, and that never came out. Remember they killed that before it hit market? Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
All these things now everybody's tried. So we've seen these things in different fashions. It's hard to impress at this point.
We should have done a retrospective of our wackiest products that we've looked at. So we've looked at a lot of them. I feel like we need to do some sort of look back on 200 episodes.
Save that for Christmas. When you
I know
want to
exactly. Before Jason already survived one.
Save that for Christmas so I can go through every single episode and do that.
Making work for you, Jason. That's
great. Thanks. No, don't worry. I have to do that anyways at the end of every year. It's cool. Before we move on to apps, let's thank our not our final sponsor.
No.
Let me try that again. Let's thank the next sponsor of today's episode of All About Android. That would be Prosper. The sharing economy is changing the world, and like this show, actually, the future of how we do business will be connecting people directly to the services that they want and need. Peer-to-peer technologies is a prime example of this. It connects you to other people that share common interests based on, the technology that you're using, IM, file sharing, whatever it may be. That's kind of what Prosper is all about here. It's changing, technology like this, it's changing the way we rent a hotel room or hail a cab. With Prosper.com, it's changing how we borrow money. Prosper's online marketplace connects people who need money with people who have money to invest. So doing that, they can offer low rates without the high fees of a traditional loan. With Prosper.com, you can borrow up to $35,000 to pay off high-rate credit cards, fix up the house, plan a vacation, just about anything you need. Fixing up the house, that always rings true for me. And maybe someday I'll actually do it. With Prosper, I could make it happen. To check your rate instantly for whatever you have as an ambition that you could possibly put this money to use for, and without affecting your good credit, go to prosper.com/twit. And right now, Prosper is offering Twit viewers a $50 Visa gift card when you get a loan. You can get up to $35,000 in just 5 days. Go to prosper.com/twit for this special offer just for Twit viewers. Check it out, prosper.com/twit. We thank Prosper for their continued support of All About Android and the Twit network. All right, I think maybe we have a few apps to take a look at, so let's dive right in. Let's take a look at some apps.
We do love our apps. In 200 episodes, we've talked about a lot of apps.
You really want us to get to the apps. Not just talking about app news, but get to the apps. Yeah, I understand. People want us to get to the good stuff, the arena. You got to wait, Got to wait to get there. Be
patient.
Yeah, be patient, Brian. Just kidding. You're awesome. New Google Maps update includes the newly launched local guide service. And this basically allows people to sign up and be tastemakers for other users by doing things like going to cool places, writing top-notch, excellent reviews, and they're awarded benefits, being that they're the most prolific reviewers. They're given, certain benefits, which are kind of basic, like special hangouts and I guess they get a gift by the end of the year. No value determined for that gift.
None.
But there you go. Similar to Yelp's Elites program, which I haven't had too much experience with myself, but I guess it's kind of meant to, bolster their high quality reviews. And this is all integrated now inside Google Maps. So the service, local guide service, was announced and rolled out in some form about a month ago, and now it's finally rolled into Google Maps. So you can actually opt into this service. You can go there, become one of these, and then start writing reviews, and over time, you reap the benefits, I suppose.
I like this idea.
Yeah?
I'm glad that they're doing it because I find as I'm using my Android phone, my Note 4, and I'm Googling for a certain place on the maps, I will check the reviews before I even think about going to Yelp. And oftentimes I find that if there are any reviews in there, they're very negative, or they're just like a star.
Or they're the saddest reviews you've ever read. It's amazing. Yeah.
So I would love to see some high quality reviews in there so I can actually pick and choose based on, one click, as opposed to having to get on the browser and go to Yelp or open my Yelp app. So it'll save me some time, and overall I think it'll improve the experience in Maps.
Yeah. I'm honestly surprised it took this long.
Yeah, me too.
Like when you think about it, because I know for a while Google's had the City Experts program going, or some of the division that's in San Francisco. That in the Google office in San Francisco, there's a whole City Experts kind of thing, and that the kind of fusing with maps. I mean, it seems contextually like this is where I'm going. What can I see about it? And I do the same thing when I look up stuff on Google or on Google Maps. They have the reviews there, and I look at them, but they're not the best quality. So if they're creating some sort of program to beef up the quality of those, that's even better. So
I kind of want to join it now.
Yeah, go for it.
If I ain't got time for that.
You're not. It's not like you're busy. It's not like you.
I ain't got no time to write hour-long reviews. But if I did, I would love to join and get the little badges and be invited to little events and stuff. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
The elites.
Oh boy, Brian, you better get your finger ready for the breaking news. We have some breaking news. I'll go ahead and put it in chat here. Breaking news. Let's do it. Yeah.
Brian, it's just he's. Brian, breaking news. You need a dedicated button for breaking news, Brian. There's no reason why that's not queued up as the next shot every time.
There needs to be like a big red button that I can just slam.
Yes.
Okay, I got 2 seconds for this. All right.
Sorry. I tried to stretch it out a little bit, but didn't quite work out so hot. Jackie Green in the chat room reporting some very important news here. Better Call Saul, Episode 1 for free at the Google Play Store.
Is that a glitch?
Go get it.
Is that a glitch?
Go get it now. No, there it is. It's for free. You can add it to your library.
I didn't watch Breaking Bad. I don't care about this.
Oh, you jerk.
I'm totally adding this.
I just got a notification on my watch that there is a new episode of House Hunters on tomorrow night. So, he's too bright. You can't see it. But
trust Ron. That white block you see actually has something to do with House Hunters.
Whatever. Yes. But anyway, yes. There's a new episode of House Hunters on tomorrow. So that's the juxtaposition between your breaking news and Better Call Saul.
I don't know how to take the fact that you have never watched Breaking Bad, but yet House Hunters you get notified about.
Here's the thing about Breaking Bad is that when it was on and everybody would be social media storming. No, not that it was too hyped. It just seemed really stressful. That watching the show, everyone's like, "Oh my God, what's going to happen?"
It'll turn you into an alcoholic,
right? And I got a lot of stress in my life. As she takes another drink, I got a lot of stress in my life. I kind of want to. But I hear good things about the show, and now it's free in the Google Play Store. So there you go.
Hey, free content.
I just added it to my library. I am excited. I'm going to watch it
Google
tonight.
Play. By the way, this is a little bit of a tangent, but kind of related. To apps in the Google Play Store, doing a lot of freebies lately. If you have a Chromecast, log into your Wi-Fi network with your laptop or your mobile device or whatever, and go to your Chromecast offers page. They just rolled out a $6 credit for Valentine's Day, like rent a movie on us. So you can add a $6 credit to your Play Store balance. Yep.
Yes.
So when you get home, all of your Chromecasts will do this. So if you have multiples in your house, do it on every single one, and you get $6 credit on each of those. You got this. They gave a freebie of the Cascade, recent Cascade album. Just lots of like pretty solid freebies lately.
Can I? Now that we're on the topic of Chromecast, can I rant a little?
Yeah, let's do this.
It's 200th episode. We haven't had a Ron rant in a while.
No, let's
right?
do it. I think it needs to be done.
And I might have missed it on last week, and I apologize I didn't watch last week's episode because I was on vacation. So,
okay.
But Sling TV.
Yes.
You hear this news?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So I posted on Google Plus earlier today. Last night I was very angry. So Sling has finally rolled out the cord cutter's dream. I'm a cord cutter. I have a Chromecast. I have TV. I don't have cable TV. I get all my TV online and through different ways. And Sling rolled out the Sling TV app, which you can pay $20 a month and get access to HGTV, where I watch House Hunters, as well as AMC and ESPN and all these other great channels. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. Sign me up. I went right to Sling. I put down my credit card, downloaded the app, pull it up on my thing, and go to hit the Chromecast button. There's no Chromecast button. How do you launch a product for television watching on Android and not integrate Chromecast in this day and age? Furthermore, they already have an app, the Sling Player app, which has Chromecast.
Oh.
So it's not like they haven't done it before.
I am disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
I mean, I'm sure they'll get there sooner or later, but that would have been like, boom, done. Like, this is my TV thing now. So I just went back to BitTorrent. No, I didn't. I'm joking. I'm lying. I don't use BitTorrent. Honestly, I don't use BitTorrent. But I have another solution. Anyway, no, I don't. But yeah, no, I was surprised to see them roll out that app without Chromecast support.
Gotta do it. Yeah. Gotta do it these days.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and correct myself right now. People in the chat room are reporting that I'm
this
wrong.
More breaking news? Breaking news!
Thank you. It's good to change it up every once in a while. I was wrong. Well, actually, I wasn't wrong. Whoever said I should look at that was wrong, and I was wrong for not checking. It's the behind-the-scenes episode that was free. It wasn't actually episode 1. It looked like it was. Oh, well.
It's okay. I added it to my library.
Yeah,
Whatever.
you should. I mean, seriously, it's behind the scenes.
still
It
happy.
should really be watched. So, Hey, but they gave you X-Men through your Chromecast. So you get Chromecast or X-Men for free.
Do you? Which
Yes.
one? The new one? How did I miss that?
I think the first one. If you log into your Wi-Fi network on your Chromecast or with your Chromecast, it will offer you X-Men free to your library.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't get that.
Is that breaking news?
No. That's pretty old. Now I'm just trying to make up for the fact that I
You jumped.
yeah, I jumped on it. Sorry, I get excited when there's the opportunity for breaking news. Okay, how about some more actual news?
Some more actual
or
news.
actually,
Well, this is
rumor.
This is interesting. On All About Android, one of our favorite topics is Apple. You might remember
All the time.
You might remember all the great apples. You remember last year Apple bought Beats Music, and there was all this hubbub about Dr. Dre selling out to Apple
I
and them
remember
getting
that.
the headphones, all
As if
stuff
it
like
were
that.
yesterday.
And one of the questions, actually, a good friend of mine, one of his main questions was, what's going to happen to Beats Music, their subscription service that Beats had rolled out it was like a month before the acquisition. It was very close.
It was very soon.
And if you remember, I reviewed it on, I think I did it in the Arena, or we talked about it on the show, but it was really interesting approach to curated subscription-based music. You know, very hip design and all that stuff. That was the one that Trent Reznor worked very closely with the developers on.
I've heard a lot. I've not used it myself, but I've heard a lot of people say that the curation, the playlist creation, is actually really good.
Yeah, no, and as somebody who listens to a lot of you the same way, but a lot of genre, you know, very underground punk, metal, stuff like that, whatever, like they put out some good stuff in terms of, I hate those radio services. Like I don't do Pandora, I don't do stuff like that. Like I want to control what I listen to, but Beats was really good with this idea of like, here's a playlist of late 90s emo and well, that's pretty easy, but still, but you know, whatever, you know, kind of stuff. And it was pretty good. And it went all across all genres, whether it's hip hop or metal or popular music or whatnot. But so since Apple has bought Beats, you know, you've seen the kind of speculation as to what they're going to do with it. Well, rumor now is that Apple is looking to replace the subscription service with something built entirely with inside Cupertino's walls, similar to Google's Play Music service. So a kind of streaming kind of service. If you remember back in the day, remember we thought they were going to do this with when they bought Lulu. Remember when Apple bought Lulu and then they came out with
and then
Ping?
they did absolutely nothing with it.
Nothing with it, and then they did Ping, and Ping, nobody cared about Ping and all stuff like that. So, but this begs a good question: is that why on All About Android episode 200 are we even talking about it? Well, because Beats Music is a cross-platform application. I had it on my phone. It was an Android app. Apple has no intentions to discontinue its Android development when it builds the new service from the ground up, meaning that this will be the first Android app developed by Apple.
Whoa.
Did you ever think you'd see the day?
I didn't. I thought I would die an old lady before Apple put something on Android.
It's not like there isn't precedence, right? Because Apple for the longest time was just Mac, like iTunes was just Mac.
Yeah.
And then eventually they opened it up to Windows and it was like, oh my goodness, what's going on here? And it turns out that was like a really good decision.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sure it'll be an excellent application once they actually do it.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see. Like, is Apple going to go to Google I/O? Like, will Apple developers be mingling with other developers? Like, will that Android?
They will on the slide.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Undercover.
They'll be like, I'm from that place.
Undercover.
Startup, very small startup.
and then you got to think about it from the other side of things. Is that who's going to sit with the Android developers in the Cupertino lunchroom? You know what I mean? Like, are they going to be shunned by the other? You know, like, are they going to be this kind of rogue? Although Apple likes the fly the pirate flag and all that stuff like that. But how how are they going to mingle in with the other developers at Apple who are like, oh, those are the Android guys? Oh, yeah.
I think maybe the Android guys and the developers of the Android app keep themselves hidden from plain sight, even at Apple.
Yeah,
they're going to be spies.
But that said, they've also got Dr. Dre and Trent Reznor on their side, so because his beats so it's hip and cool, so they might be the kind of guys that you want to mess with. They might be the kind of
That's true. So, they have some good backup.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious to see what they do with it.
Yeah, me too.
But on one hand, Beats Music is a great app that they put a lot of money into to develop. And they made a big deal about the development of that. Why throw it away? Like, why do something from the ground up at Cupertino? Why not take that code and build upon it? And do
because Apple wants to make it look more
Apple-y?
More like their current.
So that's design. That's front end. That's not why.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't know. Beyond that,
I don't know.
Because Apple has to get their fingers in it.
They do, and then ruin it like they did Lulu. I love Lulu.
Lulu was so great.
Wasn't Lulu great?
Yes.
Who remembers Lulu?
It was the first music service I paid for.
Yeah.
And it was the first music service to break me of bad habits, let's just say. No, I loved Lulu, and then they bought it, and they did absolutely nothing with it and shut it down.
Yeah,
and
nothing came of it.
Like, oh, man.
I wonder if anyone ever wrote about that. Whatever happened to Lulu?
I don't know. Well, Lulu probably, I mean, it was folded into
iTunes.
Apple's, into iTunes services.
It became Ping. That's what we thought it was, that awful Ping service.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not talking about the singer Lulu who sang to Sir with Love, who I adore. We know what happened to her. She's still playing, and you could see her at a county state fair in the summers playing to Sir with Love.
Good to know. So, I had no idea that there was a singer named Lulu.
You don't know Lulu?
Who's this person?
You don't know Lulu?
I don't know who this is.
Thank you, Bryan.
Oh my God! Wow.
While you think of who Lulu is, let's thank our final sponsor of today's episode. That would be Smart Things. Let me tell you about CNET's highest rated smart home system. It's called Smart Things. It's awesome. Smart Things allows you to monitor, control, and automate your home from anywhere. using your smartphone. Now your lights, your locks, thermostats, home security are all connected through a single app. You don't need a different app for every product. There's intuitive controls that allow you to set the rules on your smart home through their free iOS, Android, and Windows Phone apps. With SmartThings, you can customize the way your smart devices talk to each other. You can also, tap, let's say, good night on your phone, and the lights will turn off, and the thermostat will adjust, and the doors will lock. You can set your lights, your lamps to brighten every morning at sunrise or when you want to wake up. So it gently wakes you up. That's the SmartThings hub right there. That's kind of like the brains behind it all, the central nervous system of it all. You can even keep your home protected. SmartThings home security components, motion detection, water detection, and more. You can enable your speakers to do things like broadcast a dog barking.
That's cool.
Really loudly if there's motion outside of the house, so you can trick those thieves. You can set a camera to take a series of photos when there's unexpected or unwanted motion or entry is detected. Have your doors recognize when you're close and unlock themselves as you walk up. If you can't tell by now, with the combination of modules that SmartThings offers, you can do so many different things to customize your smart home in whatever way that you want to. SmartThings actually was named CES 2015 Editor's Choice Award, and that's because it's awesome. It started as a Kickstarter, and it's just kind of grown from there. It's pretty cool modular setup for making a smart home. You should check it out. To get you started setting up your smart home right now, SmartThings is offering All About Android listeners 10% off any home security or solution kit, and you can get free shipping in the U.S. when you go to smartthings.com/twit. That is smartthings.com/twit. Check out all the components. There's all different types of kits that are basically combinations of all the modules and stuff to give you different access to different use cases. Basically,
I got to tell you, my mother would have loved the open close sensor.
Yeah.
When growing up, when I would leave the refrigerator door open, and set this up and set up a little like a beep or something to go on. I know modern refrigerators have this, but
our refrigerator does.
But mine doesn't.
Like that.
Mine's a dumb refrigerator, so I totally throw this on there. Or you kind of thing where you tell if their mailbox is open or not, if it's got mail. Like so many different unique ways to integrate this stuff.
I could stick this on my cabinets and yell at my husband every time he forgets to close the cabinets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That would be so funny.
Or catch yourself leaving the cabinet open.
No, I never do that.
Oh, never.
Or the power outlet where you can send an alert if you leave something on while using it. So if you leave the iron on or some sort of the curling iron that women use, the Burnett houses. This could save your house from being burned down.
There you go.
Fantastic. The sky is the limit. You can use your imagination and make your home smart. That's what it's all about. Smartthings.com/twit. Make sure to use the offer code TWIT at checkout, and you'll get 10% off and free shipping in the U.S. Check it out. SmartThings. Thank you for your support of All About Android and the TWIT network. All right, it's time. Let's do it. Let's jump into the arena.
So many enter, but only one lives. Android Arena.
I still 200 episodes in, and I still love the roll of the R on Arena. That is such a subtle little touch, but it's wonderful. I love it.
It is. Yeah. It continues to delight me as well. I love it. And it's kind of the character of the segment.
It is. Yeah, it really has. And I also like the chat room now has discovered the wonderfulness of Lulu. Thanks to me. I'm sorry I got distracted by that.
Of Lulu the artist or Lulu the service?
The artist, not the service, the music artist.
Oh, Wade County reporting that.
There it is. Oh, is this breaking news?
I don't know. Is it? Look, the guest is winning.
I know, I called it.
Guests are winning so far. Wade County says guests are at 3. I am at 2, and Ron, you are at 0.
Yep.
Let's take a look at last week. So, Ron, you were not on last week, so you had no horse in this race. Yep. Looks like Galaxy Trucker, which was Aaron Newcomb's app, comes in at the top with 40% of the votes. Miriam Jouar's Zoe app from HTC, of course, got 35%, so that was second place. And At Hand Tuner, which was a wearable tuner for your Android Wear device, was mine. And it lost 25%, giving the guest the winning spot. So you're on the guest slot, so there's no pressure. But
no pressure.
You could either make sure that the guests continue winning.
You guys.
I called it earlier this year that it would be the year of the guest. So.
Oh, man. That makes me nervous.
Collective. The guest
Tell me
collective.
that. I'm just going to leave right now.
All right, so I will go first since I'm the loser. Let's see here. So my app, it's a pretty quick one, but I think it's pretty nice. It's always nice to have these like tools on your device for when you need them. You don't need them all the time, or who knows, maybe you do. I don't know what you guys do for a living, but maybe S-Converter would be super handy for you. S-Converter is designed, I think, pretty wonderfully. It has full tablet support, or tablet, it's, what is the word I'm looking for? Suddenly I blanked. It's tablet optimized.
There it is.
There's the catchword that I was looking for. But you can see it has a little bit of that material design look. This the floating action button actually gives you a calculator over the top. So basically, what is S-Converter? S-Converter is an app for converting all the things. It's completely free. There are no ads, no in-app purchases, and you just have conversion of all of these different categories, right? You've got acceleration, area, currency, energy, force, fuel consumption, mass, power, pressure, shoe size. Shoe size. How many times do you see a shoe and it's in UK size or it's in US size and you don't know what the conversion is? 13, by the way, in a men's shoe is actually 12 UK size. And then if I needed to hop into the calculator to do something, I don't know why I'd need to do that with a shoe size. I just tap that, I hit my numbers, and I go, oh, wait, I need a number from over there. So I go back to it, and there's the number, and then I go back. My number's still there. I can just continue. It's a floating calculator over the top of a conversion app. Yeah. So shoe size, speed, temperature, torque, volume,
That's cool.
volumetric flow, it has them all.
Now, I assume all this stuff is built in. You don't have to get on the internet to be able to access this information?
That's a really good question. I don't think so, because everything
cool.
seems pretty instant.
Yeah, it's pretty simple.
Although I'd be really surprised if there wasn't some sort of connection, because things like currency rates and stuff, that would change.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at currency. So, see, rates updated successfully. So I launched into it and it updated automatically.
So if you're not connected, it might use the previous time.
Right, the previous synced numbers. Now, what you can do here on the list is if there's something that you know you're never going to need, like numerical system, I don't know, power. I'm just going to take one. You can swipe it off. Wait a minute, can't you swipe it? I know that you can. I know
you really need to use the pressure one.
Oh, you do?
No,
it's like you have to. I thought for sure you could swipe these off. I thought you could do that. Maybe it's done in settings now. Oh, I see.
There it is.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I was wrong. But you can dial in what you see within each of the categories. So in energy, for example, you get a lot of options, but maybe you don't need all of them. So you can narrow it down so that your list isn't filled with so many things. So yes, Arjav in the chat room says this is basically the glorified converter app. Yep. That's exactly what it is.
And I like he hasn't even seen anything else. Sorry, I'm going to go with something else. I've already decided. I'm not giving you my vote. It's a tough audience, man. Tough crowd.
Custom unit. So there's something that's not in here. You think it should be, and you're smart.
Can you make up your own unit of measurement? Can you make a Howell?
Ooh, yes, because unit name.
Yeah, there you go.
The Howell.
The Howell equals.
I could do that.
The Howell to Star Trek years.
The Howell.
It's a unit of quantum physics, the Howell.
The Howell-ude or something. Okay, so there you go. Anyways, it's called S-Converter. It's completely free. No ads, no in-app purchases, just all awesome. And it's designed pretty well, I think. Looks good, and it's very feature-rich. So there you go. S-Converter. Check it out. All right, so I'm the loser, so I went. Shannon, you go next, because you're the guest.
I'm the guest.
Woo!
So mine is called Sue, and it is a social and payment network. And I'm going to disclaim this. Yeah, it's called Sue.
S-U-E or
TSU.
Oh, okay.
The T is silent.
I thought it was like the legal action.
I believe it's because it's Asian made, and in Japanese, if you pronounce something that's TS, it would be Su with the S.
Su.
Yeah.
Su. Like tsunami.
There it is.
Something like that. So it's a social and payment network, which means that it's a social network, but it also pays you on the back end too the more that you share and the more that you talk to friends and comment and like and do actual interactions. Now, the reason why I like it is not because it's a pyramid scheme, because obviously it is, but because it actually creates really authentic information, and it's not as much hashtags and spamming stuff like like me, promote me, share me, because if you do that kind of stuff, Sue will actually ban you.
Oh.
So they'll take that as spam and be like, you use too many hashtags, we're going to ban you. So you want to create more authentic experience for everybody that follows you and all of the people that you want to get to join, all the people that you follow.
That's pretty cool.
So if you check it out on my phone, basically I just have a home screen, and this is going to show you everybody that I follow. So everyone that I follow, I've decided to create this as not just a social network where I share like all the shows that I do, but as a place where I hang out with a group that also does a lot of the same things that I do. For me, I like couponing, so I'm using this social network, Sue. Don't make fun of me.
I'm not making fun of you. I've noticed your Instagram feed.
Yeah, my Instagram feed is terrible. Do you know how many people I've lost as followers?
Well, I just think it's interesting because it's like a hobby or a community that I know nothing about, and I'm fascinated by that.
Hobby. It's a huge community.
And you've got your whole language and lexicon that I don't get either, and so I like to read it because I just don't get it. So
whenever you use this, you have your home screen, and this is basically like your news feed, but you'll notice that there's not a whole bunch of hashtags in here. There's a lot of images. There's a lot of really informational stuff on here. And since I follow a bunch of couponers, you'll see a whole bunch of breakdowns of deals and how to get free items. And
you are
stuff like
hardcore into couponing.
I am hardcore, yeah. So what I can do, if I really like one of them, I can like with the little heart, I can comment with the little comment button, or I can share on my own feed. When I share it on my feed, it'll tell me at the bottom that it's been shared once it updates, and it'll say share it on your feed. Now, another thing that Sue created is you can't share a whole bunch of stuff in one day, so you also can't spam people as well. You can only share 8 things per day. And you can also go over
that's
to
actually
kind of
nice.
It is nice.
I like the limit.
I hate being spammed by people. I have a bunch of images and stuff like that. So if I go over to my own home screen, I can see my diary, which is going to be my own news feed. I can see my about section, my pictures. So I have a bunch of couponing pictures, friends, followers, and following. Following are going to be people that show up on my news feed. Friends are going to be people that have friended me back. And then followers are going to be everybody that follows me. Now, the reason why it is the payment network is because you have a little bank. Every time you share something, comment, or like, all those interactions end up banking up. If you ignore this part, it ends up being really fun because you're not just interacting to make money. Like, I only have $1.24 in here because I really don't care about this part. I just care about finding the best deals for my couponing. So that's how I'm using it. If you do care about the banking part, you want to create this thing called a family tree. Everybody that ends up being one of your children, a child, they will show up in this little feed called your children. Anytime they share something or their children share something, so your grandchildren, all those shares will end up being pennies in your bank. So it ends up banking up over time, and you can actually cash checks once you hit $100. And I know some people that have actually cashed checks from Sue for over $100.
Wow.
Which is weird, but it's actually happened. It takes a long time to get there, but they have.
Yeah, so how long would it take to reach that? Because you're limited per day.
Yeah, you are limited per day.
And now it's obvious why they do that. They don't.
If you reach the max of friends and followers, which you can have, which is like 6,000, you could probably hit that within a month. Yeah. But I only have like 100 followers and like 60 friends on here. So I keep it pretty limited at the moment because I want it to be a very interactive environment for myself. So it would probably take me like a year to reach that.
So you're not quitting your day job to be a sewer?
No, absolutely not. I believe the reason why they are able to cash out that money is because they're collecting your information on here. So because of that, I've just lied about my birth date. I lied about, my location and stuff like that. I just put in a bunch of, random junk.
Right.
But other than that, I really, really like it. I've become very interested in it, and I've been using it daily just to interact with other people. And I've made some friends on it too, so it's really fun. And you can only join this if you join under somebody too.
Oh, so it's like
you
a
have to be
referral.
invited. Yeah.
Or a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very much a pyramid scheme. But if you ignore that part, it ends up being very fun social network.
I like the idea. I like the idea of a limited, not limited, but a monitored social network. You know what I mean? Where, like you said,
Path was one of those, right?
Yeah.
And they don't post ads on here too,
Yeah.
and I like that too because I hate seeing promoted tweets or like promotions on my news feed. It just really drives me crazy. So I'll put stuff on here like my little hauls. Aren't they cute? Like, look, all free. Boom. And people can like it.
bragger.
Their little likes will show up here. If they comment, they'll show up down here, and I can like their comments. So yeah, it's very simple, very easy. You can use it on iOS and on your PC as well.
That's a lot of Glade. Is that all the Glade you have, or is this just from this one haul?
That's not all of the Glade.
So what are you going to do with all that Glade?
Well, a lot of my stuff I've given away to homeless. To a homeless shelter in Oakland.
I feel bad for making fun
and
of it.
I give a lot of it to my friends, and I just sent my sister a care package because she moved into a new apartment.
That's
I was all ready to make fun of the couponing, and then she goes and be's a better person than me, and now I feel bad. Because I was going to be like, how much Glade do you need?
I literally have a bag. I should take a picture of it. I have a bag in my trunk of just stuff that I'll give away to homeless people if I pass them on the road.
That's awesome. Actually, okay, speaking of that,
ridiculous.
I'm such a horrible person.
Marginally related to that, but we did the same thing. When we went to Disneyland, my wife was like, I read something that says every night that you're in a hotel, take the shampoo, the soap, the blah, blah, blah.
That's smart,
and then put it in a little bag in your car, and then when you're driving along, you see
I just
a homeless
have a little
person.
sample
Boom, there you
bag.
go.
Samples, and I have some.
I thought you were going to
full-size
brought a
stuff.
homeless person to Disneyland. I was like, wow, you really are a better person than I am.
That's
No,
really
I didn't do that. But maybe someday.
Yeah. All right.
There we go. All right. So that is Sue, TSU. Yep. Search for Sue Social and Payment Network in the Play Store, and that's free.
Cool. Very cool.
Very cool. I had never heard of Sue. That's awesome.
Wade County says, I would rather do swag bucks. I've done that too.
What is
all about couponing?
I know.
Yeah, it's a new show. You should do that. Anyway.
There has to be a couponing show already, right?
Yeah, it's called Extreme Couponing. But there's
extreme couponing.
There's a few YouTube shows, but there's no official podcast.
There's a space. There's a white space. Go fill it.
Just saying.
Extreme couponing.
All right, Ron, what you got?
All right, so my app solves a very specific problem in a very clever and materially designed way. If you're like me, if you travel a lot, sometimes you're in a city you don't really know. Sometimes you're off in a different neighborhood, you're not familiar with it. And listen, we're all human. We all got to go to the bathroom sooner or later. Well, luckily, Flush exists. Flush is an app that lets you find a toilet in any city, any country, and plots it all on a map and makes it that much easier. So if you open up the app here, you can go. I got no graphics to help me out here, Brian, but it's okay. All right, so when you open up the app, I put it on my tablet so you can see a little more. You just get the simple view of where you are, and all these little markers are where there are public toilets. You can also get a listing of them. So, for example, I can see, there's one at the Whole Foods, which is right there.
Yes,
now,
there actually is one at the Whole Foods. I know.
Okay, so here's an interesting thing. This app is brand new, so it doesn't have a lot of, especially in Petaluma. So there's not a lot of community involvement. That's why everyone needs to download it and start using it. But let's say you went to the Whole Foods and you used it. How good was that toilet? Would you rate it?
Gosh, that's
Would you rate it
awesome.
1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 stars, or 5 stars?
I don't know. It wasn't bad. I'd rate it a 4.
All right, so we're gonna give that a 4 star. So now you see here, if I refresh or whatever, I gave it 5 by accident. I'm sorry. Or it's loading. I gave it 5 earlier. But it's also showing ratings where it can show you that this one has 5 stars. And I keep tapping and I keep screwing it up. But so
That's cool.
So the difference is not only can you find there it is. Can you zoom in on that, Brian? Whole Foods 5 stars. There it is. They also have indicators to show if there's handicap accessible. So if that's something that you're concerned about, that is something that you can use. And then it can also give you directions that you can go open in Google Maps. So it's real simple. I checked it out in San Francisco. There's a couple of toilets that I have used. I can validate that they are toilets. And I threw in some ratings. And it's a free app. You can, when you find a public toilet, all you do is hit the plus sign and you can add it in. You can add in the location. You can say whether it requires a fee or a key or if there's disabled access. And this is the kind of app that's really dependent on the community. We all got to go in and we got to give this good data so that when you need to go, you know where you need to go. So
I will gladly use this because I don't know if you know, but there are so many women that just don't know how to use a public restroom, and it's irritating. And I will tweet about it.
Lots of men as well too. So now this app is free in the Google Play Store, but if you notice at the very bottom, there's a small banner ad. You can just simply, if you go and tap on the menu button, you can say remove ads, and it pulls up an in-app purchase for 99 cents to kill the ads if you hate ads.
Cool.
So. But yeah, within there, you can rate and report any toilets. You can move it to the satellite map if you need a hard time finding it. The settings are pretty simple. If you want to switch to meters, if you're in Europe or whatnot, if you're handicapped and you're only looking for disabled toilets, you can choose to only show disabled toilets, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Or only show free toilets, because in other countries they actually charge you to use those toilets on the street.
Yeah, they do.
Like in Paris and
Italy.
Amsterdam. Yeah. Yep. So it's international. I checked out a couple of countries abroad. And, they're all there. So they've got data. They're rolling with it. They're building their community. So it's a handy app. It's the kind of thing, download it, put it on your phone. It's a small bit to download, but it will go a long way when you need it.
Yeah.
So,
when you got to go.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to go to Flush.
So, so that's Flush Public Toilet Finder. It is free in the Google Play Store. When I saw it, when I was looking for an app, I was like, "Oh, this is my arena app. This is what I'm doing."
That's awesome.
Yeah, what's weird is just last week we were talking. I can't remember who I was talking with. I think it was like Jeffrey Needles and a few other people. And we were talking about categories to do for Android App Arena.
Yep.
And this was one. It was like maybe for April Fools we do how to find a toilet.
Hey, listen, there's no fooling. It's when you gotta especially when I've been in Manhattan and you're in between meetings, you're like, oh, that Clams Casino didn't sit well. I need to find you need and the thing is I know a couple of hotels and I know you think and there are times where you're like oh, the Starbucks on 56, don't go to that bathroom, it's awful, right. But the one in Union Square, that one's okay. But so it's neat to. It's neat to have it available. And honestly, if you go back and look at the design, I mean, it was all material designy and it was all, it did its thing. It's it's current, coding. So Flush, it's like I said, it's free. The file size was small. It's the kind of thing that when you forget that you have, and then when you need it, it becomes totally handy. So there you go.
Yeah.
Flush.
So we're not going to see Twit pop up on there, are we?
I thought about adding the Twit bathroom, but I didn't.
Is Twit a public?
Yeah, I don't know if we wanted to do that. So
I'm not sure about that. All right, so we had 3 apps this week in the arena. We had S Converter, which I know you all loved. Admit it. We had Sue, Social and Payment Network, which is pretty awesome. Never heard of that one before. And Flush, because when you got to go, you got to go. You can vote for your favorite app this week by going to AAApoll.com/200. That's AAApoll.com/200 and place your vote. I'm going to go ahead and register a vote for S Converter because that's what I do. We'll see. Man,
I voted for Flush.
Yeah, well, of course. We all vote for our own, right?
Vote for your own app,
it's, pretty standard.
I voted for yours.
Oh, did you?
I did, yeah.
Thank you. Wow.
Man, Sue has no votes yet.
That's because no girls watch your show.
Oh, that could be it. We only have 7 votes at this point.
It'll load up.
So
It'll load in.
I'm sure it will. And the more we talk about how Sue doesn't have any votes, the more listeners of the show later.
You don't have to give me the handicap, dude.
No, I'm just saying it just happens. It's just the way it is. The more we talk about my app, S Converter, the more people feel compelled to vote for it. S Converter, really great app. Just saying. All right, there we go. So we got to end it, but no, wait a minute. What's going on here?
We got some breaking news, I think.
I think we have some breaking news.
More breaking news?
This is breaking. This is serious.
This is as big as it gets.
I think I recognize you. Who are you? And what is your name? And where did you come from? Eileen Rivera, back to the show.
My pixelated. Hi, guys.
No, you're not pixelated. You look fantastic. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh,
it's good to see you.
Dude, my new phone. Look what I'm rocking.
That's
Never
enormous.
Thought I'd rock a note. Did you?
I think that
Did
looks
you?
familiar.
Oh, Shannon likes what you've got. Yeah.
Heck yes, I do.
What? Look, it's like the size of my face.
That is
Covers
enormous.
my face.
Eileen, is that a phablet?
It is the Galaxy Note 4, Ron.
Oh, well,
it's
then.
not a phablet. It's its own category. How are you doing,
How are
Eileen?
you guys? I miss you guys. What's going on?
Well, not a whole lot. We're just doing this show. It's called All About Android. You may remember it from when you were host of this show from like episode
-2.
-5 to 91, I believe, or 90. And then
-5. Yeah, how many negatives do we have? Was it 5 or like 8?
No, we had a few. Yeah, we had like 8, I think, before we hit episode 1. It was somewhere around there. And then you went and you danced off to this company called Google to work for YouTube.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. and it's going great. I love
look
my
at
job
that.
and
Look at the
where I'm at right now.
Look at
Oh my gosh, what is happening?
Look at that blast from the past.
Episode 1.
Look at my hair. Whoa.
That's the.
Awesome,
look at me in my old apartment.
Look at Ron.
And your 4-3 video.
You
Am I
still
fourth?
live in
Yeah,
that,
you're
in that
right.
house? No.
Are you in the same house? Or
No,
you're
I
in a
moved.
different
I
place
moved.
now.
Yeah, that's my old apartment. Yeah. So.
Oh,
March 2011. Wow.
was this episode
Oh my
1?
gosh, look
This
at
is
me, my
episode
hand
1?
gestures. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. What am I doing?
So how have you been, Eileen? It's been so long. It's so good to see you.
I have been good. I have been acclimated to Southern California life. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
And I've been super busy and trying to keep up with you guys. But man, I am so the average consumer these days. Wait, what app is new? Tom tells me all about the new apps now. I am so behind. So behind.
Well, you watch the show. You watch the show every week, right? I mean, you're still a regular watcher, right?
Yep. At the top of your Pocket Casts
right, there it is.
list. We know.
Pocket Cast.
We know that we between you and me, we know that our show comes before Tom's in your playlist. Right. Okay. All right.
She's like, who do I want to make happy?
Awkward.
Awkward. Sorry, I had to take it there. I was just going to ask you about YouTube. How is YouTube going? What are you doing? Anytime I look at Google Plus or look at your updates, you're always
They're
tweeting
all YouTube videos.
Well, that's true. Google Plus is a lot of YouTube videos. But on Twitter, I see lots of things every once in a while when you're allowed to send out pictures of what you're doing and everything. And it just looks so awesome. It looks like
I think
like
I don't
Candyland.
share as much as I used to because, sometimes I have the YouTube creators shooting at the space and it's sort of like on lockdown and, not until they release the video, blah, blah, blah. So I'm very protective of that for them. But I work with a lot of the YouTube creators out there and they're super awesome. I didn't know anything of that sort of world until I started working at YouTube. And man, they're pretty cool. There are a lot of really smart individuals. It's been really good. It's booming, it's growing, and I don't know. I don't see an end. It's been a good, fun ride so far. Are you showing my G+? I don't know what I'm showing. I'm showing, I watch a lot of Jimmy Fallon on YouTube, believe it or not.
Well, now that you're in
New York for a little bit, I spent some time in New York helping launch the YouTube space in New York. So yeah, it's been great.
And being in LA and also New York and doing YouTube, you get your fair run-ins with celebrities every now and then, right? There's some pretty cool people stop by.
There's a few.
Yeah.
There's a few. I don't know. It's like, do you guys care about some of these? Do you care about One Direction? Do you care about Ellie Goulding? Who else? Matt Damon.
That's pretty cool.
No, it's interesting. It's a different world than where I was before. And
absolutely.
Name dropping is not. I don't like name dropping so much, but it's like bizarre. I'm like in bizarre world. Like, oh my gosh, this is LA. That's right. This is Hollywood, and I'm thinking about like award shows that are done like 20 minutes away from my house. Like, whoa, that's crazy. But I miss the Bay Area. I do. Even though I'm sort of more acclimated here in Southern California finally. It took me 2 years to finally think, okay, I think I'm okay here now.
Yeah, and you think at this point you've settled in and you're like, this is home, and you're sitting on the beach all the time now.
Sitting on the beach. I just bought a bike. I don't like change a lot. And so that's why it took me a long time to finally feel like, okay, this is home. But I think I'm there. So it's good. But I still miss you guys.
Yeah, we miss you too.
Well, as you know, Eileen, we're celebrating our 200th episode.
I know.
We're so happy that you're able
to.
We're so happy you're able to join us. But we also have a surprise for you, Eileen.
What?
One of our old friends also decided to join us. He came in. Our good friend Andy is here. And
hi, Eileen. How you doing?
Hey, Eileen.
Miss you.
Hey, it's so good to see you. I remember back at episode 1 when you guys started and you introduced the segment of what would Andy say, and I just got to tell you, I miss you on the show. Eileen. I'm really happy that you're doing good things in LA. But, Andy Rubin approves. Very good. And I'll see you in the halls at Google someday, okay?
My favorite thing is someone in the chat room's like, who's that?
That was amazing. Oh my gosh.
Who's that? Why would you? Who's that guy?
Wait a minute. Andy still is at Google, right?
I think Andy's still at Google,
Okay.
right? Can you look that up, Eileen, in some sort of
go ahead.
directory? Is Andy still at Google?
Employee directory.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
Oh man, you guys are just having a good old time up there, aren't you?
That's
200 episodes. We're kind of in shock, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Who
You
knew?
made it through, Ron.
I know, right?
Remember when I had that experiment? I was like, "Hey, you want to do a podcast?"
Yeah, I was like, sure. Yeah, haven't been fired yet. So
episode 201. It's coming, Ron.
Exactly.
It's coming. Oh, cool. So
are you guys surprised that I'm rocking the Note?
I was just about to ask you, actually, the Note. What was the decision? What was the kind of rationale for? I need to get a Note. Like, is it the note-taking aspect of it for what you're doing nowadays, or what is that?
No, T-Mobile, which I am huge T-Mobile fan, by the way. That is my new jam.
Yeah.
I realized that in order to get a 32 gig phone, I couldn't get the Samsung Galaxy S5 with my upgrade. I'd have to get the Note. And it was either the Note or the Nexus 6. And I think the Nexus 6 is just slightly too. This is already big as it is. I'm actually still trying to adjust and learning how to have a huge phone. But the 6 is even bigger. So I went for the other. And, you know me. You guys have watched me before. Samsung.
You're a Samsung girl.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm a Samsung girl, and I went home to Samsung. So, I'd been rocking the Nexus 5 before that, and then I also had a Galaxy S4. And then I just decided, time to upgrade, get more space. And why not? Why don't I give it a try? And I was at the store and I tested both. And I mean, this thing is not that bad. I think I dogged it before, but you know what? It's actually pretty good.
Do you find yourself using it?
As much at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you find yourself using the S Pen a lot?
I used mine a lot when I went on vacation just to keep a journal of what was happening every day. And it really helped me so that when I got home, I was able to post reviews and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
Who knew?
That's good. There's a lot of artists. There's that app, Shannon, that you've seen. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's really great artists on the Note.
Oh, yeah. I have seen that.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful artist.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's still a bit heavy for me. I am thinking a year from now, should I downsize? Maybe, but it's not dummy wrong. The battery life is great, and it takes great photos. Mm-hmm. So
yes, I've heard that time and again about the Note 4.
I will say it's comically large in your hand.
Isn't it?
Isn't
it? Look at that. Look at my hand. It fits right there.
It's less a phone, more a folio.
Yeah. So Jason had a Nexus 6, and it finally looked like there was a phone made for Jason because it looked like the right size, and then he dropped it. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
this hurts, Ron. This hurts. Thanks for the memories.
Oh.
Yeah, no, it's still shattered, resting on my desk. It's been broken now for going on 3 weeks because I've been too busy to actually, put in the paces of getting it replaced and repaired and everything. But that basically just means that every day I come into work and I sit down to work, and right in front of me is the spidery, shattered glass of my Nexus 6, and there's just the reminder, of what happened that one fateful day. So I'm happy you have a case. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to have caught you guys at the end of your show.
Yeah, no, I'm so thrilled that we could get you on, even if for 10 minutes to talk about just what you've been up to, and we miss you.
We do miss you.
Aww.
Yeah, right at the core of this show, you're right there because you were there from the very beginning.
Hey, yeah.
You're awesome.
I miss our vampire talks.
Well, here's to 200 more episodes.
Woo!
Oh,
that's another 4 years, man.
Oh, man.
You got it in you.
Listen.
Phones are going to be this big, right? Yay.
Yeah, we make fun of it now. 4 years from now, that's going to be the norm. We're going to be folding up phones and putting them in our pocket.
Yeah. I miss our vampire talks, Eileen. It's good to see you.
I know. I miss them too, Shannon.
Eileen
Although
Rivera.
Vampire Diaries is not, now that we're getting into that, is not that amazing this
Not
season.
that good anymore.
All about Vampire Diaries. All right, let's do it.
We've had Talking Tyson. We've had
all about coupons. Yeah, come on, it'll be great.
We've got it all. Well, Eileen, such a pleasure to get you on, and I hope that it doesn't take us until episode 300 to get you on again. But it appears at this point, this is what we do. Every 100 episodes, we do something, and then we bring you on for that nice round number.
Do it in increments of 25 or something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Hey, one of these days, maybe Google will let you join for a whole show. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just
maybe.
throwing it out there. Don't expect it to happen.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know what I'd say.
I've got a note.
I have a great phone.
Right.
I love the phone app.
The phone app.
I use messaging from time to
I
time.
use message.
We do have a call back in the chat room. Sailor Lion has a question for you, Eileen. Wants to know what's for dinner.
Oh, what's for dinner? There may be meatballs.
Maybe.
Good to know.
I
Good to
forgot
know.
all
It's
about
always
these
meatballs.
jokes. We had so many jokes.
It's always
Yeah,
meatballs.
that was fun.
All right, Eileen. Don't want to hold you. Thank you so much for rushing home. I know that you had a hard time connecting at work, and so you ran home and you were able to make it at the tail end. Really
the
appreciate
best.
it. And I know folks that are listening that have been with the show for a really long time are super stoked to hear your voice and see your face. So thank you.
Aw, thanks, guys. I really appreciate the invite, and thanks for thinking of me. And again, congratulations on 200. That's awesome.
Thank you. 200 more. 4 years, buddy. I think we can do this.
I'll do it. I'm in. I'm in.
Oh, yes.
Bye, Eileen. Thanks.
Eileen.
We'll talk
Bye,
to you
guys.
soon. Take care. All right. Whew.
I miss them both already.
That's awesome.
Gina and Eileen. This is not fair. This is like messing with my emotions.
It really is. It really is. But we have a lot to look forward to. And aside from all of this craziness, Shannon, thank you for being here on episode 200.
Thank you. And I hope you guys enjoyed your drinky drinkies.
I did.
It was
Thank you.
good.
Cheers. Here's the
I,
cheers.
it's empty.
Yeah,
Well,
mine's
this
empty
is
too, but I was
coffee
going to
now,
pretend. But
There
Cheers.
we go. Cheers.
Yes. So we mentioned at the top of the show, but real quick, this is your time to plug anything. I imagine it has something to do with Tech Thing.
Sure, why not? So this week on Tech Thing, TEK Thing, you can find it over at techthing.com. I am going to be talking about condenser microphones for gaming. I've got a couple in for review, so we're going to be checking those out on the show. And we've also got, oh my gosh, what else are we talking about? Oh, some alternatives to LastPass because I know there's plenty of people out there that don't like LastPass. So I'm going to give you 3 alternatives to that, including one that's very, very new. And I believe Patrick is going to be doing something kind of a surprise for us.
Oh, those are the Patrick surprises are the best.
The Patrick surprises, yes. That's exactly what it is.
That's awesome.
So you can find out all about that over at tekthing.com.
Love it. Keep up the awesome work. I can't wait to see. That's the cool thing about Patreon. You see
Yes, it is.
how much it's growing and how much you guys are kind
awesome.
of benefiting from.
It's really connecting us to our fans, and we're really able to share like what they want to see more often than just like what a network wants to see us do. So I'm really stoked about doing this.
Patreon's pretty awesome. Cool.
Yeah, independence.
Boom. Good on you. tekthing.com. Ron, what about you?
Yes, so as always, you can find me at about.me/RonXO, where you can find links to my Instagram and Google Plus and Twitter and all that fun stuff, and read about my nonsense and follow me and see fun stuff. But by day, you can go to imagecomics.com, where you check out some of the best comic books in the world. This Wednesday, tomorrow, we got a big day of comic books. We got new Walking Dead, new Southern Bastards, and a whole bunch of great stuff. So check it out, imagecomics.com. Available on every digital platform you can think of. So go download it. Google Play. We're in the Google Play Store. So
will there be a day when Sex Criminals is turned into a movie or a TV series?
That's all I can say.
I only recently heard the kind of the plot of
great,
that,
right?
and it sounds really fascinating.
You should, if you're interested, I'll hook you up. I mean, it's a great read. I mean, like it's very. I mean. Yes, but it's the name is kind of weird, but but it's actually really like
it sounds
really
very
heartwarming and very endearing. So,
heartwarming.
Yeah.
Interesting
it's a love story.
description for
it's
it.
A love story.
Okay, there we go. Bryan, what about you, sir?
For me, you can follow me at cranky_hippo on Twitter. I'm not going to be too busy. Me and Padre pre-recorded all the know-hows for the next couple of weeks, so we got those in the can. But
nice.
I did do an electric scooter review on BYB today, and that was a lot of fun. So check out BYB from prior what was that, like a couple hours ago? And just wanted to say, glad I was here for the 200th episode, guys.
We're glad you were here, Bryan.
Yes, you overwhelmed us with breaking news bumpers and
it was beautiful.
And news voiceovers.
It was
And
romantic.
a few missed cues.
Yes.
An episode wouldn't be complete without that.
The missed cues are kind of the spice of the show, right?
Yeah,
really is.
they keep you on your toes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I am an artist, and the TriCaster is my canvas.
Artiste.
You never know when Brian's going to miss something.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I'm liking the whole silhouette thing you
Oh yeah,
have going
Bryan.
back
Bryan
there.
doesn't. Yeah, Bryan's in an undisclosed location.
The mysterious
at all
dude.
times.
You're never really quite sure where I'm broadcasting
That's
from.
kind of creepy.
It's true.
It's slightly creepy.
What about you, Jason?
Well, thank you, Bryan. You can find me at about.me/Jason Howell. Follow my musical exploits at yellowgoldmusic.com, where I'll someday do something new. You'll see. I'll probably talk about it more when that happens. But for right now, I'm working on stuff. It just hasn't hit the site yet. Also, I do another Android show for the Twit Network. It's called Android App Arena. Might sound familiar because it was inspired from this show. And this week, this Wednesday, tomorrow, I'm going to be publishing an episode that's all about replacement keyboards. I'll take a close look at 5 different keyboards for Android and kind of compare them. And I'm not sure whether I'm going to pick a winner or not because, man, they're super subjective. You know, everybody loves keyboards for different reasons, but I think I probably should pick a winner. But you can check out those episodes, that show at all times. It's twit.tv/arena. And I hope that you do. I have a lot of fun producing it. So there we go. But that is it for this week. Thank you so much for episode 200 of All About Android. You can always leave us a voicemail at 347-SHOW-AAA. You can send us an email. We're at AAA@twit.tv, or include a link to a video and it becomes a video mail. Find us on Twitter. We are at Android Show. We're on Google+. There's an amazing community there. Lots of great discussion. Just search for All About Android. We have a subreddit at twitaaa.reddit.com. We have a website with show notes of past episodes. That's twit.tv/AAA. As well as all our episodes on YouTube and iTunes. And finally, catch us live every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, live.twit.tv. That's it for this week. We'll see you next week on another episode of All About Android.